From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Ayotunde Balogun. Hello and welcome tonight. President directs the ICPC to thoroughly investigate the activities of the alleged Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council and all related matters nationwide. The Senate urges the federal government to suspend Boko Haram rehabilitation and reintegration programs while directing security agencies to arrest, prosecute, and dismantle criminal networks nationwide. As xenophobic attacks force African migrants from South Africa, UN Special Advisor to Africa, Uhuna Ezekowa, urges continental unity, stronger regional integration, and lasting African solidarity. And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu opposes potential United States F-35 fighter jet sales to Turkey after President Donald Trump signaled the deal remains under consideration.
On business news, Nigeria returns to Africa's top 5 destinations for foreign direct investments as inflows double to $4 billion in 2025.
Lionel Messi inspired Argentina to a stunning late comeback as the reigning champions beat Egypt to reach the World Cup quarterfinals.
From the nation's capital, the Center for Crisis Communication reports worsening national security in 2026, citing rise in terrorism, kidnappings, and AI-driven disinformation, while advocating for state police and improved intelligence operations.
President Bola Tinubu has directed the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, to conduct a thorough investigation into the activities of a Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council and all related matters. According to the statement signed by the Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, the directive follows the discovery of the fictitious PFIPC, which was never established by the federal government of Nigeria and has no basis in any law, presidential instrument, executive approval, or other lawful act of government. Among the issues to be investigated by the ICPC are the forged appointment letters and other official government documents, the use of a false claim of presidential appointment to seek or obtain official recognition and diplomatic support, including visa facilitation, and the opening of multiple bank accounts in the names of purported government agencies using allegedly forged documents. President Tinubu directed the ICPC to investigate not only the conduct of the principal individual and other collaborators involved, but also the wider circumstances that may have enabled a fictitious body and a false claim of presidential appointment to acquire an appearance of official legitimacy. President Tinubu stated that the integrity of the presidency and the institutions of the federal government must be protected against impersonation, forgery, abuse of official identity, and the exploitation of weaknesses in the public service. The president then directed that the investigation be concluded and a comprehensive report submitted to him within 30 days. Meanwhile, the Chief of Staff to the President, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, has threatened a 10 billion naira defamation lawsuit against Adeniyi Adeyemi, who claims to be the Director General of the Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council. Through his lawyer, Kemi Pinero, Mr. Gbajabiamila gave Adeyemi 72 hours to delete all videos and comments accusing him of murder and bribery. He also demanded a public apology and full retraction in at least 5 national newspapers and across social media. Mr. Gbajabiamila's legal team described the allegations as false, malicious, and baseless, saying they were intended to damage his reputation by portraying him as corrupt and a murderer. To the National Assembly now, the Senate has asked the federal government to suspend the rehabilitation and reintegration program for repentant Boko Haram members while urging security agencies to intensify efforts to arrest and prosecute terrorists. This resolution was adopted during plenary following a motion sponsored by the chairman of the Senate Committee on Army, Senator Abdulaziz Yaradua, on the escalating attacks, abductions and killings of serving and retired military personnel. Our National Assembly correspondent, Gloria Umezoke, reports.
Upon resumption from a 3-week recess, lawmakers are officially welcomed back in keeping with parliamentary tradition.
Retired military personnel.
The rising spate of insecurity circles back into focus as Senator Abdulaziz Yaradua sounds an alarm over the increasing wave of attacks targeting serving and retired military officers.
The Senate further notes with grave concern the growing pattern of abductions, killings and violent attacks against serving and retired military personnel across the country.
We are walking the streets as walking cops because anything can happen to anybody. There is an urgent need for the leadership of this Senate to meet with Mr. President and re-emphasize the concern of Nigerians. Otherwise, quite frankly, it's becoming, in an election year, anything can happen to anybody.
Following robust deliberations, the Senate further resolved to ensure arrest and prosecution of those responsible for the violent attacks.
Your additional prayers to stop rehabilitation of Boko Haram.
Yes, it does not make evil common sense to grant pardon and rehabilitate and reintegrate criminals.
Those in favor of the prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
By the same token, the xenophobic attacks in South Africa was another deep concern for the lawmakers following a motion sponsored by Senator Asukwo Ekpeyong.
The Senate observes that the indiscriminate targeting of foreign nationals, including lawful residents, demonstrate that the campaign cannot be regarded merely as immigration enforcement, but constitutes xenophobic hostility based on nationality and perceived foreign origin.
Nigeria and Nigerians should be the centerpiece of our foreign policy. Any harm to any Nigerian should be taken seriously.
Lawmakers appeared united in their call for tougher measures against South Africa.
As we are talking today, over 1,200 Nigerians are already being evacuated. And what does the government do? Caution. Caution what? Caution what? Are we not Nigerians? Don't Nigerians deserve to live in other countries? Even if they are armed robbers, even if they are criminals, are they supposed to be killed? Yet, the cornerstone of Nigerian foreign policy is Africa. But that has to change. We can't allow our people to come, we take taxpayers' money to pay compensation where South Africa investment and profit is being taken away. I urge that the profit be appropriated and use it to settle those who have been brutally destroyed, business burnt, life lost.
Whatever we need to do, we need to be very careful. So maybe they have a problem. They are brothers, we helped them before, we can still help them.
It doesn't mean that our decision must coincide with your opinion with profound respect.
We should allow our Committee on Foreign Affairs to investigate. Nigeria is the giant of Africa. Look at the entire scenario, the conspiracy angle to what is happening. And once we've gotten the necessary information, well-informed facts, then we can take action in line with what you said.
The lawmakers are eventually compelled to backtrack.
Centers Act Amendment Bill 2026.
The Senate now awaits recommendations from the committee to determine the next line of legislative action. From the National Assembly, Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
While lawmakers in the Senate condemned the killings of Nigerians and other African nationals in South Africa, governors under the All Progressives Congress, the APC, have condemned the attacks, killings and hostility against Nigerians and other African nationals in South Africa as well, calling on the South African authorities to ensure the protection of foreign residents and bring the perpetrators to justice. The position was contained in a communique issued after the governor's meeting held at the government house in Birnin Kebbi, the Kebbi state capital. The governors, who expressed deep concern over what they described as continued incidents of xenophobia, mob violence and unlawful killings targeting foreign nationals in South Africa, also expressed concern over the country's persistent security challenges.
We are persuaded that the reforms being undertaken by our leader, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, are necessary to stabilize the economy, restore public finance, attract investment, strengthen national productivity, expand infrastructure, deepen food security, and secure a more sustainable future for Nigerian people. Our support to President Tinubu is not based on politics alone. It is based on the conviction that Nigeria requires courageous leadership. We also express concern over report attack, killing, and hostility directed at Nigerians and other African nationals in South Africa. While we respect sovereignty of the Republic of South Africa and the brotherly relation between our two countries, we condemn in all forms of xenophobia, mob violence, unlawful killings, and the abuse of foreign nationals anywhere in the world.
Meanwhile, the newly appointed United Nations Special Advisor on Africa, Ohuna Ezeakonwa, has called for greater unity across the continent following the recent anti-migrant protests in South Africa, which have forced several African nationals to leave the country. Speaking in an exclusive interview with Channels Television, she warned against growing divisions and barriers to freedom of movement and regional integration, while urging African leaders and citizens to embrace solidarity, oneness and unity in advancing the continent's shared future.
What you would wish is, at the very least, an understanding of the fact that we are one, and it's a larger question of free movement and integration of the continent. I think Africa needs to address this core question of free movement and regional integration. So otherwise South Africa will not be the last one. It's really how we come together as a continent to make real the united Africa that we're talking about in the African Union. That union has to be a people union, not just a union around states.
President Bola Tinubu has inaugurated the Presidential Working Group on the National Policing Bill, which will provide the national legal framework for a dual policing system in the country. A Chief of Staff to the President, Femi Gbajabiamila, who represented the Commander-in-Chief at the event, outlined some of the objectives of the proposed National Policing Bill, such as provisions on minimum policing standards, state readiness certification, and federal-state coordination.
There are two things.
The passage of the State Police Bill by the National Assembly was applauded by many Nigerians. The bill is seen as part of the solution to the security challenges confronting the country. Gathered in this room are members of the Presidential Working Group on the National Policing Bill. They're here for their inauguration.
Deputy Senate President as representative.
The Chief of Staff to the President, who is representing the President at the event, speaks on how this bill relates to the State Police Bill.
While the Constitutional Amendment Bill establishes the framework for dual policing, it does not operationalize it. That work is left to the National Policing Bill, which is proposed to provide the national legal framework for a dual policing system in the country. The proposed National Policing Bill will include provisions on minimum policing standards, state readiness certification, federal-state coordination, transition data systems, fiscal and grant conditions, among several other themes.
After he inaugurates the group, other members of the group voiced their support.
There is no saying the fact that we are at a very critical
of movement, security-wise, and that all hands must be on deck. It's imperative that the governors be appealed to help us speed up the process.
With the array of people gathered here, we'll be able to dot the I's and cross the T's, identify likely problems that may defeat the idea of state police, and also ensure that we put the right statutory provisions in place to ensure that not only is this idea of state police not abused, but it's also put in place in such a way as to secure the lives of the welfare of people, and also ensure that policing trickles down to various communities.
People are so excited. They believe that this is the eureka moment. This is what they have been waiting for. And this, everybody feels, will answer some of the problems that hitherto have had to do with the number of police personnel. A country of almost 300 million people. I mean, a state like Ogun State, if the whistle is blown tomorrow, we are ready with about at least 6,000 policemen. So if you time 6,000 minimum by 36 states, that gives you almost 200,000 policemen added to the number of policemen, about 300,000 that we have today. Alongside some of my colleagues, other governors and our attorney generals, and we've been working proactively, just like you're working, to ensure that by the time the whistle is blown, the plan is to ensure that when the bill gets to our various houses of assembly, that we all party the same day. And that is what the plan is.
The committee has set a timeline of 7 weeks to complete its assignment. From the presidential villa, Lanre Lasisi, Channels Television News.
In part 2, after the break, the Nigerian Association of Medical and Dental Academics gives the federal government 21 days to meet outstanding demands or face nationwide industrial action. Please stay with us.
In every corner of Nigeria, the hustle never sleeps. From the streets of Lagos to the heat of Kano, from early risers to night grinders, the engine of hustle never stops. But even the hardest workers can't move forward if their power fades. Every drop of sweat, every mile, every start depends on what's running inside your machine. Because your engine's heartbeat deserves more than just any oil. It deserves protection that can match your pace. That's why I recommend Mainland Lubricants. Engineered for power, protection, and performance. Formulated to stand the test of our roads, our heat, and our hustle. Because this is not just oil. It's the lifeblood of your grind. And now the city moves again.
Welcome to the Gathering on 100, the biggest and largest Nigeria Youth Link-Up here in Lagos, Nigeria. If you love to dance, if you love to party, if you love artwork, if you love tattoos. So we're going to be starting in 3, 2, 1.
I've been digging, and it's lit!
This was their creation. We're extremely proud of what they've done. It's an incredible gathering, and we're very positive that this is going to be something that we're going to build on.
Calm down. What if I ruin everything? And tell me now it's coming. Just pass the beef and dawa cubes. No awesome. With Mr. Chef, it's a 2-finger crush. I am the chef of life. Chef of life with Mr. Chef. This is the true taste of home and culture. Chef of life. We're sincere.
Stay confident, stay focused, breathe through it with TomTom.
There goes that smile I fell in love with.
Every day, same corner,
same hour. Same chemistry since day one. I absolutely love it. But even when everywhere goes dark, this connection is still lit. Long live this long-distance relationship. Get Airtel Smart Connect today. Call toll-free on 0911 00 0080.
Are you okay?
Babe, let's go. I'm not letting malaria steal our big moment.
Oh, we only the best, oh.
Say no to malaria, yes to life. Amatem Soft Gel, only the best matters.
On your Monday, we shall stand. On your Monday, we shall stand. Bola. On your Monday, on your Monday, on your Monday, we shall stand.
The wheels of Nigeria's progress are advancing, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu door-to-door movement is also advancing the renewed hope agenda by inviting you to a historic occasion of the inauguration of the National Executives, led by the founder and grand patron, High Day, Thursday, 9th July 2026 at the Nigerian Army Conference Center and Suites, Asokoro, Abuja, by 11 a.m. prompt. Join leaders and patriotic citizens from across the nation to witness this historic movement. The PBAT door-to-door movement, together for a greater Nigeria.
Asiwaju cares.
Welcome back. If you have just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, broadcasting live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. President Bola Tinubu directs the ICPC to thoroughly investigate the activities of the alleged Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council and all related matters nationwide. The Senate urges the federal government to suspend Boko Haram rehabilitation and reintegration programs while directing security agencies to arrest, prosecute, and dismantle criminal networks. As xenophobic attacks force African migrants from South Africa, UN Special Advisor to Africa, Ahuna Iziakonwa, urges continental unity, stronger regional integration, and lasting African solidarity. And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu opposes potential United States F-35 fighter jet sales to Turkey after President Donald Trump signaled the deal remains under consideration. A crisis may be brewing in the health sector as the Nigerian Association of Medical and Dental Academics has issued a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government to address its demands or risk industrial action. The union say negotiations over its members' welfare, remuneration, and conditions of service have remained stalled since April, despite repeated attempts to engage the government.
NEC condemned the continued exclusion of NAMDA from critical decisions-making processes affecting her members, including membership of the IMC of the Presidential Needs Assessment Intervention. NEC reaffirmed her rejection of the imposition of PhD by an NUC on medical academics in the Nigerian university system, as the fellowship qualifications contains the requirement needed for the capacity for research, the training and teaching at the undergraduate and postgraduate levels. NEC also encourages the National Medical College to, as a matter of urgency, commence fellowship program in the specialties of medical physiology, medical biochemistry, human anatomy, and pharmacology. NEC resolved to issue a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government to conclude negotiations with NAMDA and address the association's demand, after which industrial harmony will no longer be guaranteed.
The federal government is reaffirming its commitment to strengthening the armed forces through sustained investment in modern military equipment, improved troop welfare, and intelligence-driven operations to tackle Nigeria's evolving security challenges. Now, this assurance is coming from Vice President Kashim Shettima, representing President Bola Tinubu, at the grand finale of the Nigerian Army Day celebration, marking the Army's 163rd anniversary in Port Harcourt. Our correspondent, Deborah Mie-Fiberesima, reports.
From its origin as a Global Hausa force in 1863, the Nigerian Army has transformed into one of Africa's foremost military institutions, playing a pivotal role in safeguarding Nigeria's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Today, Port Harcourt hosts officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army alongside military chiefs from 15 countries. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo, former chiefs of Army staff, retired senior military officers, government officials, and members of the diplomatic corps as they celebrate the Army's 163 years of dedicated service. The grand finale begins with a presidential parade, precision drills, and tactical combat displays, showcasing the professionalism and operational readiness of the Nigerian Army. Representing President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima arrives at the venue with a renewed assurance that the federal government will continue investing in modern military hardware, improved personnel welfare, and intelligence-led operations to strengthen the armed forces in addressing Nigeria's evolving security challenges.
This administration is committed to modernizing our army to enhance its capacity to meet contemporary security challenges. We therefore align with the aim of the great minds in management to amplify Nigeria's leadership in defense diplomacy and to enhance our Army's operational capabilities through shared expertise.
For the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Waidi Shaibu, the 163rd anniversary reflects not only the Army's rich history, but also the unwavering commitment to national security. He notes that the Nigerian Army has continued to record major operational gains against insurgency, terrorism, banditry, and other emerging threats, revealing that more than 80% of Army personnel are presently deployed across various operational theaters nationwide.
This year's Nigerian Army Day celebration is protecting the nation and serving the people, a way forward for the Nigerian Army, reflecting our enduring promise to Nigeria. The Nigerian Army has consistently demonstrated resilience and adaptability. Our personnel have served with distinction both at home and abroad, upholding the highest standard of professionalism and patriotism.
River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara says the choice of Port Harcourt as host city underscores the improving security situation in the state. He commends President Bola Tinubu for supporting the armed forces through sustained efforts to tackle insecurity and strengthen the nation's defense architecture.
The Nigerian Army has displayed professionalism today, have shown expertise, have shown improvements in technology and manpower development.
And with the week-long activities marking Army Day over today, in the words of the Chief of Army Staff, the most priority attention of the Army is to secure lives and property. From the Yakubu Gowon Stadium in Port Harcourt, Deborah Mie-Fiberesima, reporting for Channels Television.
There are high hopes for higher learning in Osun as the state government says it remains committed to tertiary education through sustained investment in infrastructure and quality leadership. Governor Ademola Adeleke made the assurance at the investiture of businesswoman and philanthropist Victoria Sampson as the third chancellor of the Osun State University.
It's a day of celebration at the Osun State University as government officials, traditional rulers, members of the academic community and other dignitaries gather for the formal investiture of the institution's third chancellor.
The new
University authorities say the appointment marks another milestone in the institution's development, expressing confidence that the new chancellor will build on the achievement of her predecessor and further advance the university's vision.
A chancellor is not a person of main character. A chancellor of a university must be a person of character. A man or a woman who will stand tall and stand alone if it is for the truth. The beauty of human dignity is that you must leave a system better than you have met it. And that is our joy, that today we are leaving this university better than you have met it. Mr. Governor is leaving this university in the next 4 years after this one better than he met this university.
With more than 4 decades of experience in business and philanthropy, the new Chancellor, Victoria Sampson, says she is committed to leveraging her office to support the university's growth through strategic partnerships and other initiatives.
The position of University Chancellor is not an ordinary position. It is a great one with one's responsibilities attached to it. But it is also a position to deploy one's God-given goodwill and resources to make impact.
Governor Ademola Adeleke says the appointment reflects his administration's determination to promote excellence in higher education through visionary leadership and sustained investment in educational development.
Today, the baton has been passed to another accomplished and highly respected Nigerian, Mrs. Victoria Odunola Sampson. She is a symbol of integrity, diligence, discipline, and purposeful leadership. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our administration remains resolute in its commitment to repositioning education as the cornerstone of sustainable development. To the Governing Council, management, staff, students, alumni friends of the university, I urge you to extend your unwavering cooperation and support to our new Chancellor.
The Governor also commissioned several completed projects within the university, including a sports complex, a science laboratory complex, and 2 lecture theatres, describing them as part of ongoing efforts to improve learning and research facilities across the state's tertiary institutions.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, and in the name of Allah.
The state government says the investiture and project commissioning underscores its drive to expand educational infrastructure while positioning Osun State University for greater academic excellence and global competitiveness.
Still ahead on the news at 10, Nigeria returns to Africa's top 5 destinations for foreign direct investment as inflows double to $4 billion in 2025. That's on Business News. Please join us again.
When your name couldn't open doors, you didn't give up. You made your way in anyway, only to find out that there are many doors you still need to open. So you work hard to get the keys until your name began to open doors.
Let Meristem help you keep the doors open for generations to come. Meristem, let's grow wealth for you.
They can keep us off the pitch, but they can't stop us from winning.
It's plenty! Play for free every day with BetKing Daily Award and stand a chance to win big on sports, virtuals, and games. This season, the game is yours to win. That feeling, that's BetKing.
Excuse me, ma. It's your 100%
Babes, are you sure you want to spend this much on hair? Since your landlord just increased rent.
I saved for this one separately on Money Point. You say you save on Money Point? Yes. This madam Money Point here, the array of Yadrea here, it charges savings Money Points I used to have it. The rest of this my sub, it's fees savings Money Points I used to do it. The salary of this my staff, please save as you transact.
Jennifer, Money Point save as you transact. Money Point fixed savings and Money Point target savings.
Why did I tell my don't contribute to you? Why should I? Come on, oh, you go give your money to for Adaku to say, you see money point accounts here. You know, go open a savings account. Now Adaku, you should. I beg everybody inside this my saloon. Oh, yeah, bring out your phone and download the money point app now. Even you. What are you waiting for? Download the money point app now. Adaku, wow, open money point account.
Money Point, made for your progress.
Cadbury 3-in-1 hot chocolate, the treat you deserve.
Mylda, welcome, sir. We need to look at this report.
What can we offer you?
Don't worry. Huh? Mr. Chef, it's a 2-finger crush.
Pass the beef and crayfish.
With Mr. Chef, a simple crush turns meals into culture and moments into memories.
This is the true taste of home.
And culture. Chef of life.
Welcome to the Gathering on 100,
the biggest and largest Nigeria youth link-up here in Lagos, Nigeria. If you love to dance, if you love to party, if you love artwork, if you love tattoos. So we're going to be starting in 3, 2, 1.
I've been digging, and it's lit.
This was their creation. We're extremely proud of what they've done. It's an incredible gathering, and we're very positive that this is going to be something that we're going to build on.
Welcome back. Now let's head to the nation's capital, and Gloria Umizoke is standing by to give us the latest from our Abuja studios. Hello, Gloria.
Thank you, Ayo. Here in the nation's capital, there is indeed worrying news for citizens as Nigeria's security situation worsened in the second quarter of the year 2026. And that's coming from the Center for Crisis Communication. Presenting the center's second quarter report on the nation's security, the chairman of the center, General Chris Olukolade, retired, cited a rise in terrorist attacks, mass kidnappings, banditry, and the spread of AI-driven disinformation ahead of the 2027 elections. The center, which backs the proposed establishment of state police, is recommending faster intelligence-led rescue operations, responsible reporting by the media, and an end to the use of ethnic and religious identity for political gain.
The center expresses deep concern over the convergence of escalating insecurity, widespread disinformation, severe economic hardship, and intensifying ethno-religious polarization, a combination that poses significant risks to national stability and social cohesion. This CCB's assessment, derived from the comprehensive monitoring of security and conflict trends throughout the quarter, with particular emphasis on development recorded in June 2026, reveals a marked deterioration in the country's security landscape. Considering the growing public consensus that state policing represents a more responsive and effective approach to addressing Nigeria's security challenges, this center reiterates the support for the establishment of state police as part of broader security reform. The center, however, cautions that the constitutional, legal, and institutional framework for its implementation should not be subjected to unnecessary delays, while adequate safeguards must be instituted to guarantee professionalism, accountability, and protection against abuse.
In the nation's capital, the FCT minister, Mr. Nyesom Wike, has explained that President Bola Tinubu removed the FCT administration from the Treasury single account because he sees governance as part of business. Mr. Wike explained that the president knows that the FCTA cannot operate effectively under the TSA. He spoke during the commissioning of the newly constructed Transitway N2 from Central Business District to Wuse District, with 2 bridges in the Wuse District. Day 20 of the Federal Capital Territory Administration project commissioning takes place in Wuse District, and it's a road project linking the Central Business District to Wuse District with 2 bridges.
It will involve the construction of dual carriageway comprising of 2 lanes one direction with a median reservation of 11 meters wide. The median is meant to accommodate the future rail infrastructure when it comes.
Mr. President, we thank you.
In his remarks, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Mr. Nyesom Wike, defends the decision of President Bola Tinubu to remove the FCT administration from the Treasury single account.
Mr. President knew that we could not perform if we still operate under the TSA. And that's why when they came on board, they said, listen, I don't want to hear complaints. I don't want to hear excuses. I'm removing you from the TSA so that you'll be able to access funds from other commercial banks to be able to carry out their projects.
Mr. Wike stressed that Tinubu is leading a revolution that would better the lives of FCT residents and Nigerians in general.
Revolution, revolution, revolution. The revolution was initiated by Mr. President, and I commend him for that.
Mr. President, we are grateful.
The Senate President, who is representing President Tinubu at the commissioning, states that the President is fully committed to the actualization of the Renewed Hope agenda.
Today, as we celebrate my administration's historic 3rd year in office, and coincidentally mark the 50 years since the creation of the Federal Capital Territory, I want to commend the FCT administration led by Mr. Project himself for its vision, commitment to quality and timely execution of projects. In the name of Almighty God.
Accompanied by the leadership of the FCT administration, the Senate President then commissions the roads. To company news, a decade defined by exceptional innovation, creativity, and excellence culminated in Lagos as Silk Coat Paints Nigeria marks 10 years of generating positive footprints in the Nigerian paint industry. The company celebrated this achievement with the hosting of a dinner to recognize and celebrate its top loyal distributors with the theme, A Decade of Excellence, with a promise to maintain quality and stay resilient in the delivery of world-class products.
Silk Coat Paint is 10 years in Nigeria, and the company is celebrating its esteemed distributors in Lagos and across the Southwest. Since the commencement of operations in Nigeria in 2016, the company has spread to 35 states across the country.
There was a need in the market. We saw, as a company, we saw this on the time, and we brought it in what the market needs. And most importantly, we set consistency in the quality.
This success is thanks to you, to the customers, distributors, and valued partners.
During the 1 decade in Nigeria was achieved through its loyal marketers and distributors who drove the brand.
I have seen the company's unwavering commitment to quality, its passion for innovation, its determination to satisfy customers.
Enhance income opportunities for painters by investing in capacity building. Sequent has strengthened the painting industry and empower artisans to deliver higher standard of workmanship.
The brand explains that this celebration is a milestone to appreciate its partners and solidify its presence in the Nigerian market.
From the testimony we are hearing from all our distributors, I can say that Silk Coat is the #1 company in Nigeria that is consistent. The affordability thing, we have brand that is meant for premium and even the economy, so it's pocket friendly.
Our weather welcomes it. It is loved by homeowners, loved by builders across Nigeria.
Silk Coat Paints Nigeria specializes in lead-free, eco-friendly interior and exterior decorative coatings, a range of products well appreciated by its distributors.
The customer buys it, they have the value for their money, so definitely they will come back for more.
When we say Silk Coat, we say more money. When you use Silk Coat, you get value for your money.
Congratulations.
Silk Coat Paints launched its partner recognition initiative in Kano, followed by Abuja, and has now extended the program to Lagos. The company has also pledged to honor its valued distributors in Port Harcourt as part of its ongoing commitment to celebrating the contributions of its partners across Nigeria.
Well, that's it from the nation's capital. It's over now to Will Ibong in Lagos for business news.
Thank you, Gloria. Well, Nigeria's returned to the list of Africa's top 5 destinations for foreign direct investments after inflows more than doubled to $4.01 billion in 2025. Now, according to the latest UN Trade and Development World Investment Report, Nigeria ranked 4th in Africa behind Egypt, Guinea and Mozambique. Foreign direct investments into the country rose by 148% from $1.61 billion in 2024, marking the highest level in more than a decade. The report says the rebound was driven by major energy investments and corporate transactions. And despite the improvement, UNCTAD says Nigeria still needs higher investment levels to support infrastructure development, industrial growth and job creation. Now, fuel pricing is once again at the center of the national debate as the federal government pushes for lower petrol prices following recent declines in global crude oil and ex-depot prices. However, in an interview on Business Morning today, the national president of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Dr. Billy Gillis-Ari, maintains that there is no profiteering and no deliberate attempt to exploit consumers in the current fuel pricing environment.
There is no stakeholder that is taking advantage of Nigeria. Everybody wants to bring in their best, to even take some kind of losses, but not the losses that will tumble us out of business. Because the moment we cannot have replacement capital, the chances are that we are never, the energy provision that is dependent on refined product will go south. And we want to be very cautious about that. The fact that prices should come down was what everybody was focused on, and there was nobody that held back themselves on saying what the truth is. The government also has deregulated fully, and they were very clear about that the regulation is certain, so they are not going to intervene in certain prices. But of course, government has the engineering and the mechanics of how things can be done, especially in this very critical sector that drives our economy. We have made it very clear that our profit margins are very minimal. And the data is there for anybody to check. Most retail outlets that are members of Petron, our profit margins have been hovering between 7 and 11 naira. So I don't know where the profiteering comes from. When I invest 1,200 and something naira to buy 1 liter, I will pay logistics and then I will bring it down to the retail outlet, and my profit margin is hovering just, far less than even 1%. I don't know how that becomes profiteering.
Now with that, we head to the domestic equities market, which extended Monday's positive momentum as investors bargain hunt on the NGX. Here's Lad Williams with the highlights.
All right, let's
let's see how your money performed today. The close of trade. It's another green close we have today. We see the bulls still holding on to this trading week, 1.24%. We're getting big moves up this week so far, but today it's with less volume and value of trades, compared to yesterday's trade. If we get a check now on the sectors that we track, we see the industrial goods counter again on fire, 3.36% higher. Dangote Cement adding to its share price. We also did see Lafarge Africa, which is now called HBM Nigeria PLC, also rising today. Then for the oil and gas counter, Aradel again firing up this counter, but Wando dipped today. Company reported its 2025 full-year results, reported a pre-tax profit drop of over 60%, and the revenue was down about 22%. But yeah, that didn't rise, down about 3%. Top trades, we see the big boys by market cap moving the market up, likes of MTN Nigeria, 2.2 billion was traded today. Aradel, 3.0 billion naira, and Zenith Bank, 9.9 billion. So that's how your money performed today. It's another green.
So how the other markets perform around the world? Let's see the snapshot numbers. And that's business news. I'm Will Livang. Is back to Aya for more on the news at 10.
Thank you, Will. U.S. President Donald Trump has said he will lift sanctions on Turkey and will soon decide on resuming sales of F-35s. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is opposing the plan, arguing that the sale of F-35 fighter jets to Turkey will upset the power balance in the Middle East. Here's Simon Pusey from our London studio with more international news and around the world in 5.
Good evening and welcome to the channel's studio here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Ukraine's president says he is planning to use the NATO meeting in Turkey today to urge Kyiv's allies to deliver the air defense systems it urgently needs to protect it from escalating Russian attacks. Volodymyr Zelensky's call comes after Russian missiles rained down on the Ukrainian capital twice in less than a week, crashing into blocks of flats and killing more than 50 civilians. The summit in Ankara will also be a chance for Zelensky to hold a crucial meeting with Donald Trump, who has so far been reluctant to give his full backing to Ukraine.
The threats we face are real, including from Russia, which continues to wage war on Ukraine. Right now, Ukraine is changing the dynamics on the battlefield, thanks to the bravery, the dedication and ingenuity of their armed forces. But they need our continued support, especially when it comes to air defense. Russia continues drone and missile attacks on Ukrainian cities, with another horrific attack just last night.
A Paris court has upheld Marine Le Pen's embezzlement conviction, but clears the path for her to run in the 2027 French presidential election. Court of Appeal judges sentenced Le Pen to 3 years of imprisonment, with 2 suspended and 1 with an electronic tag. After the trial in 2025, the hard-right leader was given a 4-year sentence with 2 years suspended and the remaining 2 to be served with a tag. This means Le Pen can technically run for the French presidency next year, although she hasn't confirmed this will be the case. The woman suspected of carrying out a parcel bombing in Monaco, which injured a sanctioned Ukrainian multimillionaire, and his family has been found dead, according to Ukraine's security service. A cross-border manhunt had been launched from Anastasia Berezovska, a Ukrainian woman who officials believed had fled the wealthy city-state after planting the bomb in the entrance hall of an apartment building on the 29th of June. The 39-year-old's body was found with gunshot wounds to the head. 2 people, including a current officer with Ukraine's Ministry of Defense, have been detained on suspicion of murder.
The anger that you saw.
The leader of Reform UK, Nigel Farage, has said he will resign as an MP for Clacton, triggering a by-election which he says he will stand in. The video statement comes after the Sunday Times reported he had not declared benefits, including staff and security received from longtime ally George Cotterill. The Reform UK leader says he has not broken the law in any way at all, adding he had not misused public money.
I've thought about it hard, and I've decided today I will resign as a Member of Parliament for Clacton-on-Sea, thereby forcing a by-election, which should happen, I hope, in short order. No, I've decided that the people of Clacton should be the judges of my actions. This will be a people versus the establishment by-election. It's a chance to stick two fingers up to the entire establishment, to frankly tell them where to go.
A wildfire has forced the evacuation of thousands of people in southern France as the country grapples with the impacts of an early summer heatwave that scorched much of Europe. More than 10,000 people have been ordered to leave more than a dozen small towns and villages in the foothills of the French Pyrenees near the border with Spain. The fire has burned at least 4,600 hectares. Authorities have warned that strong winds could further fan the flames. A reservoir wall has collapsed in Nanning in China, sending out a torrent of water after rivers swelled after the passage of a typhoon. Officials say at least 2 people have been killed by flooding due to Typhoon Maisak. The city's emergency flood control response has been raised to its highest level.
Variations for lunging,
And a New York fitness instructor named the Lunge King has earned 2 more Guinness World Records while wearing a 20-pound vest. Austin Head, who is originally from Texas and now works as a fitness instructor in New York, donned a 20-pound vest and performed 71 lunges in 1 minute and 200 lunges in 3 minutes to earn a pair of Guinness World Records. He previously earned the records for the farthest distance traveled by lunge in 1 hour and the most lunges in an hour in 2024.
And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.
Thank you, Simon. Welcome to Sports News. Argentina staged a stunning comeback from 2-0 down to avoid a stunning exit at the hands of Egypt and prolong Lionel Messi's World Cup career with a 3-2 win to reach the quarterfinals earlier today. The holders looked down and out when goals from Yasser Ibrahim and Mustafa Zico, either side of Messi having a penalty saved, put the Pharaohs in sight of a historic victory in Atlanta. However, Cristiano Romero's header sparked the comeback as Argentina struck 3 times in the final 11 minutes plus stoppage time. Messi smashed home the equalizer to score for a 9th consecutive World Cup game and retake the lead for the Golden Boot with 8 this tournament. And Colombia and Switzerland are completely deadlocked at 0-0 in their round of 16 clash at the 2026 World Cup at the Vancouver's BC Place as the game enters extra time. Victory for either side will set up a quarterfinal clash with Lionel Messi's Argentina. And U.S. coach Mauricio Pochettino says he is disappointed and frustrated by the backlash over Folarin Balogun's ban, but insists it was no excuse for his side's World Cup exit at the hand of Belgium earlier. Balogun, the top U.S. scorer of the tournament, with 3 goals started the game against Belgium, but was not able to make a significant mark in the 4-1 defeat. That's sports, and back to you, Ayo.
Thank you, Chris. And the main news again. President Bola Tinubu has directed the ICPC to thoroughly investigate the activities of the alleged Presidential Foreign Investment Promotion Council and all related matters nationwide. And the Senate has urged the federal government to suspend Boko Haram rehabilitation and reintegration programs while directing security agencies to arrest, prosecute, and dismantle criminal networks in the country. That's the news at 10 tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ayo Tunde. Welcome from everyone here. Do have a good night.
Hello and welcome. This is Political Paradigm, reaching you live